Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Persona 4 Arena for the Xbox 360. This is Daaro DS, and welcome back. Last time we were in story mode, going off more of Narukami's story, and we're gonna get right back into that today. I am very, very sorry about the late lack of not doing any videos lately. There was a family...
Mind and matter. Now then, why don't you introduce yourself?
There was a family matter to attend to, and it was keeping me from making any videos or basically having any mindset to make any videos. So now that it's that is come and gone, I'm back to making other videos.
Shows itself when you
5% completed the game.
Perhaps you can think of it as.
And we're going to continue on with Narukami. We're in scene number 10.
I wish you good luck.
And let's keep going. I've won. I lower my sword and begin slowing my breathing. I don't believe I've injured Chie too badly. Considering that this was my third time having to do this, I feel like I'm getting pretty good at not having to seriously wound people in a fight.
Wipe that smug look off your face. This isn't fun at all!
What are you talking about, Teddy? This is fun. I take joy in not killing others. General Teddie has seen that the fights ended without any injuries, and spits out his words through the monitor. The image on the monitor then disappears without anything further. Let him say whatever he wants. I fought all my friends I came into the TV with, and none of them are hurt. All that's left is to head to the announcement room and make sure Nanako is safe, and then we'll be able to go home. I walk over to Chie and help her off the ground. She comes back to her senses and seems a little sheepish.
I think so. Man, you're strong. I'm kind of shocked at how much of a difference there is between us.
Yeah, think? Look who's talking. I've never been kicked around so badly in my life. I wait for Chie to reach her feet, and then I tell her everything that's happened up to this point.
So the others are safe too? What a relief. I was pretty worried.
She is sort of relieved that she sits down on the floor once more. I can't help but smile at that reaction. She really does care about her friends. Yeah, these are the people I believe in. Seeing us exchanging smiles like nothing was wrong, Miss President sounds perplexed when she speaks up.
You guys really are tight, aren't you? Makes me jealous.
Well, we did spend a whole lot of time together last year because of that case. Sure, I was surprised to hear such weird stuff coming from him, but I know he'd never say any of that to me. Wait a sec. Who are you?
Oh, I forgot that. Quickly I introduce Ms. President and tell Chie that she may be a victim of the case. But Chie looks again at Ms. President suspiciously.
Huh? The student council president? You mean ours? That doesn't seem right. I remember the new president being a guy.
What are you saying? I'm the student council president. Who else would I be?
I'm pretty sure, though. Maybe if you told me your name, I'd remember.
My name?
Ms. President stops moving. What's going on? I can't tell her... She can't tell us her name? That's not strange. That's not a strange question, is it? For some reason, Miss President seems unable to answer. I sense some kind of incoherent melancholy from her. She and I share a tense glance.
My name's...
What's wrong?
My memories... No, I don't want to fight anymore. Why do we have to kill one another?
Kill one another. I gasp when I hear the words fall from her mouth. I don't know what's crossing her mind right now, but she's definitely not acting normally. I glance at Chie trying to approach Miss President in the hopes of calming her down. Oh my god, what do you do? Holy. Without warning, Miss President begins flailing her arms as if trying to ward off demons that only she can see. Chie reaches out and touches her in concern. Miss President's arm catches Chie and easily knocks her aside.
Chie!
What power! I barely manage to catch Chie before she slams into the concrete wall. Still, this sudden breakdown. What in the world's happened to Miss President? Once I've helped Chie back up to her feet, we carefully approach her from both sides. This will be a little rough, but it can't be helped. We can't ask her anything while she's like this. But at that moment...
What?
No way!
Before I knew it, Miss President is flying through the air. She was jumping! For a moment, I can't comprehend what I'm seeing. This is no ordinary leap. She was at a standstill, but now her entire body is suddenly up higher than my head. Her jumping ability is unbelievable. She and I look up in astonishment as Miss President kicks off to the ceiling to change directions and lands at a full run.
Wow. Who is that girl? Did I say something to offend her? She did mention something about her memories.
That's true.
Come to think of it, her memories did seem a little muddled. Maybe she was on the verge of getting them back.
What kind of memory would make her go nuts and run away like that?
That's true, Chie. How would that work? I can't answer Chie at all. What if you had to kill each other? I hear Miss President's sad voice in my head. Chie apparently wasn't expecting me to answer her, and she continues.
I'll wait here. Make sure you rescue her, okay?
Her voice is strong and confident. To drive the point home, she pokes my chest with her finger, as if ordering me. Even though she might still be in danger, herself, she's worrying about others. All my friends are all like that. That makes me really happy right now. I ask Chie if she'll be alright on her own, and she fires back, "Let me worry about that." I nod to her and begin running after Miss President once more. I will save her no matter what. Let's go. We're not done yet. We're definitely not done yet. We're in the hallway. Even though I was running as fast as I could, the invisible walls kept preventing me from making such headway. I attempted to strike at the walls with my persona, but nothing happened.
So many invisible walls, one after another. Miss President can pass through them. I don't know if I can keep up the pursuit.
The announcement room is still my destination. There's no way to know if that's where Miss President is headed as well. But if there's a shadow waiting for me there, I'll need to get there anyway. Teddie and Rise should be in the announcement room, and if Nanako is being held captive, that's where she'll be as well. I have to keep running, but yet another wall blocks the hallway. At first, I think that's a dead end. I realize that I can cut through a classroom and come out the other wall. It's forcing me to enter the room rather than letting me go straight. This probably means... I brace myself and put my hand on the door. The moment I step inside, a familiar voice echoes in my mind.
Hi. Senpai! Can you hear me? Please answer me!
That voice. Is that you, Rise? The real one?
Her voice isn't coming from the PA system. I'm actually hearing it in my head. This has to be the work of Rise's persona.
Thank goodness. I've been all alone since that weird fake Teddie captured me. And then you were all fighting each other.
I can hear relief in her voice. She sounds so different from the insensitive, rude voice that's been coming from the PA system. This is indeed Rise, the Rise I know.
Where are you now, Rise? Can you locate where I am?
I'm sorry, I don't think there's time. I'm stuck in the announcement room. Please
Rise! What's wrong, Rise?
There's no answer. The communication has been cut off. There's something happening in the announcement room right now. My heart begins racing. The enemy has made us fight each other as participants in this tournament, but they have captured Rise as well. It's clear to me that they must have been worried about her using her persona powers to tell us the truth, but that's not important right now. If she was just captured to prevent her from contacting us, then the enemy must think of Rise as being less valuable than those who had to fight. She sounded okay, but who knows what might happen to her now. I have to hurry.
Pardon me for interrupting while you are lost in thought.
Huh? Who the hell are you? A hand brushes my shoulder. In surprise, I jump away and draw my sword. I can't believe that I let myself get so lost in thought that I didn't notice someone until they touched me. This is the second time I've let myself get so distracted. I've gotten used to having my friends with me while investigating last year. I can't pay attention to the entire world on my own. I need to brace myself. Aigis. I looked up to see another unfamiliar face. A girl with blonde hair and striking blue eyes. Wait, a girl? Her face and voice seem human-like, but the rest of her, there's a metal everywhere, all over her body. For a moment, I wonder if this is just an elaborate costume, but I can see the interior framework of her body where her joints
I
connect.
didn't mean to startle you.
You're,
It's nice to meet you. My name is Aigis.
Aigis.
And no, I am not human. You are the one from the introduction video, listed as the Sister Complex Kingpin of Steel, Narukami-san. Correct?
She knows, dude. The question catches me off guard. I wasn't expecting a complete stranger to call me that. And did she say she wasn't human? It's, well, when Yosuke called me by that stupid title, I knew it was a joke, but when a stranger says it, it sounds as if they truly believe it. This is a pain.
Nanako is important to me, but calling it a complex is stretching things.
No, wait a second. I was trying to play it off when I ended up blurting out Nanako's name anyway. Calm down. I need to take this conversation away from this subject. I clear my throat and try to start over.
Aigis-san, was it? Why are you here?
Our primary objective is the destruction of shadows, but we have come to this world on a different mission.
The destruction of shadows.
She fights shadows, but how can she do that if...
Does that mean...
Yes, I have a persona as well. Though my body is a machine, personas are the strength of the heart after all.
Just as I thought. I'm surprised to find another persona user outside my group of friends, and a robot on top of that. I can't come to grips with all of this. From the way we were talking, she seemed to just like a normal person, only in an interesting suit. True, I've seen stories on the news about robots looking uncannily like real humans, but isn't something like this far beyond those? Still, I can't help but believe the evidence of my own eyes. I mean, if I've been hopping in and out of TVs for the past year, who am I to say what's strange or not? Perhaps the technology behind her creation has supernatural roots of its own. I find myself growing more and more interested in how she came to be here, but I have to put that aside for now. There's something I need to find out from her first. The P1 Grand Prix. It's so similar to the events of last year, but to think it would involve someone like her. I don't have a clear picture of everything that's happening, that's for sure. I call myself and ask her what I feel would tell me what she's doing in this world.
What is this mission of yours?
She opens her mouth and responds, but just then... Ugh. Teddie. The monitor inside the classroom turns on. It's at that moment that I suddenly remember. It's likely that I'm going to have to fight her. Fight here. I'd forgotten about sensing that when I entered the room.
Ah! So that's where you got to, Sensei. I've been looking all over for you.
Boo.
Who's the honey? Were you in the middle of trying to score with her?
Oh my god. Oh yeah, Teddie. Jeez, Teddie, are you
As if
crazy?
you didn't know. You're the one who lured us both here.
As if you didn't know.
Oh my, did you figure it out? I didn't have a choice after those guys decided on their own to horn in on the fun. You're a bright boy, Sensei. You know what's coming next, don't you?
The general on the monitor gives me a twisted smile. Could Aigis-san's mission be something that would cause him trouble? I can't figure it out what his motives are, but he's using us to crush each other. He's using... Okay. In other words, she's the next challenger to be being set against me. Aigis-san seems to understand this as well, and is staring at the monitor with a quiet animosity.
Sorry about this. Do you know the rule of this tournament?
Only the victor of each match may move on. Yes?
I have nothing against you, but I'm in a hurry for my own reasons.
Neither of us, in other words, can back down. Then there should be no hard feelings.
Alright. Aigis-san is frustratingly straightforward about this. She immediately takes a fighting stance. A bitter thought comes to me. It's tough being forced to fight my friends, but for some reason having to hurt someone that I don't even know is tougher. Another thought comes to my head after that one. I don't know this girl. Perhaps her appearance on here means that there are urgent problems that an ordinary student like me can't fathom. What gives me the right to stop her on this mission? Shouldn't I know what's at stake before I take that from her? Thankfully, it seems that she hadn't gone mad like my other friends. Perhaps the enemy doesn't care about clouding the minds of people who don't know each other. If they're still capable of understanding each other, then we should talk this over before we do anything.
That will not do. We will speak more of this after one of us wins.
Aigis-san says this so quickly, it's as if she's reading my mind. For a moment, I'm struck by how she could have known that I was thinking, but I realize that she's right. What good would it do for us to talk things over? True, the loser cannot leave this room, but until we have a battle, neither one of us is going anywhere. It doesn't really matter if it comes to an understanding or not. Until we have our fight, none of our goals are going to be accomplished. If that's the case, then it's better if we don't hear about each other's problems before we... That could be why Aigis-san hasn't told me anything. This must be the whole version of the kindness. I silently ready my sword. Aigis-san appears to smile slightly when I do. Right. I'm not going to give up on what I'm fighting for either. I need Narukami or my friends to be safe. And I have to make sure that Miss President is okay. I will use anything I can to protect them. To thank her for her consideration, I make it a point to announce that I'm ready to start the fight.
And here goes. There's no need to hold back.
Indeed. Let us do battle.
Let's fight. Ooh, hopefully I can get through this fight at the first try. Let's go. Cancel, we already did it. Man, that was one scene. Jeez. I can't believe that was just one scene. Alright, you versus Aigis.
Final fight!
Athena! My other self, rise up! Persona, rise up! Now! Severe impact! Now! What? Severe impact! Severe impact! Shield up! Ready! Rise up!
Damn! What?
Move down! Cannon! Solar system error!
And that was pretty simple. Alright, we're finished with Aigis, and we're gonna move on to the next.
Wowza! Now that's the sensei I know! That hunk of junk was no match for you! Serves you right! Keep suffering! Friend against friend, beating the heck out of each other!
You don't know that, Teddie. A machine with the power of her persona. She was made to fight shadows, but I had no idea what she was capable of. I feel like my mind's been drained even more than my body. It angers me to see that the general is watching over us with an expression of joy, as we are some performers in his amusement. I look up and glare at the monitor.
I don't know why you're making us fight, but it's pointless. We aren't fighting because we hate each other. The reason we can fight is because we respect and trust each other.
A low growl. That's the only sound I hear. The real Teddie's never made such a hateful sound. It's actually rather scary.
Stupid! You're such a dumbass! What's with you?
Huh? The image on the monitor distorts along with that outburst. The general is having trouble remembering to act as someone else, and his face bulges and ripples disturbingly as his hate pours through the screen. Any pretense of the copying the adorable stupidity of the real Teddie is gone now. I notice that the voice spitting out these hateful words is not Teddie's either.
Trust? So what if you don't hate each other? You're not like me! I was forced to fight against my will! I destroyed them with my own hands! You should all have to go through the hell I've suffered! See how it feels to destroy everyone you call a friend! If I knew this was gonna happen, I would have made the rules so you had to kill your opponent to move on!
The general on the monitor continues to rage.
What are you talking about? Why did you set this tournament up?
The moment I say that, I feel that all dots have become connected. When Miss President had asked about the blue, out of the blue, if we were going to be forced to kill each other, that ominous muttering of kill one another. Were these both something that had come directly from her past? Maybe she had been forced to fight against people she didn't want to fight. And had she been forced to destroy something that was precious to her? There's no way to tell for sure, but it's possible. Considering it, this is kind of explains why her shadow would have created the tournament like this. That is, she wanted us to feel what she went through. I might not be entirely correct, but I feel as if I'm close to the truth. I should just ask General Teddie about my suspicions. But as I'm considering raising my voice.
Pardon my eccentric entrance.
Huh? What? Someone comes crashing through the ceiling. What in the world? I rush over to Aigis trying to protect her from the falling debris. What? No way. When I look up, I see a young woman emerge from the cloud of dust. Why not as strange as Aigis? She seems a little uncommon as well. But even beside that, why would she have come through the ceiling? This room has doors. It makes no sense at all. It had been about to... Man, I had just about to get the heart of the matter with General Teddie, but the monitor in this room has been destroyed, along with the ceiling. Though she seems oblivious to my confusion, the girl cocks her head and apologizes again.
Oh, please excuse me. I didn't have the faintest idea that someone would be here.
Faintest?
Fame? Fiend? Something along those lines at any rate.
What in the hell is she talking about? Who in the world is this person? Oh, wait a second. That blue suit she's wearing, it looks familiar. And that silver hair, golden eyes. Could it be?
From the Velvet Room?
My, is this what's known as being hit on?
Oh my god.
A forbidden ritual where one human approaches another based solely on appearance and bets on the inner self being equally attractive.
What are you talking
I'm
about?
not hitting on you. You just remind me of someone I know.
Okay, so that actually sounded like I was really hitting on her. No, I need to stop thinking about that. In any case, I need to ask her
Do
something.
you happen to know anyone by the name of Margaret?
Margaret.
When she repeats the name, her face seems surprisingly youthful. I've been taken aback by her bizarre speech and actions, but could this girl be younger than me? Her profile simultaneously evokes the images of a pondering philosopher and an innocent girl. I can't figure out how exactly to speak to her. Should I be more polite? I guess that doesn't matter too much. Anyway, worrying about the necessities isn't the most important thing right now.
Oh, actually, we should introduce ourselves first. I'm Yu Narukami.
Oh, that had slipped my mind also. My name is Elizabeth. Dear me, to hear that name fraught with memories in such a mundane, remote place.
She thinks of this world as a mundane place? Well, that's confusing. Yaso Inaba may be out in the countryside, but I don't think it's bad as people say it is. This girl is Elizabeth suddenly bows elegantly to me.
Margaret is indeed my sister's name.
Oh.
Can I take that to mean that you are another guest of that room?
I see. So she's Margaret's sister. That would explain why she reminds me of her.
Elizabeth-san, huh? Well, I guess that's the case. It's true that there was a time when I visited that room.
Igor, Margaret, and now Elizabeth. It seems there are more people who call that place home than I thought. I think I'm glad I met Margaret last year instead of this girl.
Why is a resident of the Velvet Room here? Did Margaret send you with a message or something?
I am currently utterly neglecting my duties.
Oh no.
Is that so?
That doesn't really tell me much, and I have no response anyway. So what possessed her to come blasting through the ceiling instead of using the door? I decided to not bother asking her. I've met so many different people over the last year, but trying to have a conversation with this girl is like trying to ride a wild horse. She's just going to ignore the direction I'm trying to steer us towards, and just veer off whenever she wants. Best just to hold on and go along with the ride then. Maybe if I just pay attention, she'll tell me something worth my time. Even if I try to ask her any questions, she'll likely just be confused anyway. But just as I'm having that thought, the girl seems to have noticed my hesitation and starts to talk about herself. Her eyes are lit up with a sincere passion. She really is a hard one to read.
I have a certain desire. It may take a very long time for it to be realized. In order for my wish to be granted, I require a power much greater than what I have.
Oh.
The power of the wild card that changes bonds into strength. I have a feeling that the key lies there.
Oh. She wants your full arcana.
I know a little about the wild card, but
I feel that the first glue to granting my wish lies within that power.
glue?
Glue?
Flu?
No.
Influenza.
No.
Something along those lines at
Oh
any
my.
rate.
She She's having trouble with coming up with the right words, but I can hear her sincerity in her speech. Probably. In other words, I think she means that the power of the wild card is related to her desire and came here. I don't think it's worth to ask how she knew about that power, I had that power, or where she found out about it. Just as I'm struggling to follow the meandering path of her conversation, she brings up an outrageous suggestion.
Might I suggest that you and I fight?
Oh my. Well, that's not really that's really normal, because that's pretty much what we've been doing the entire time. What? Someone please tell me that how she reached that conclusion and that this was a good idea. I don't think I have the chance of talking her out of it. But of course I have to try, so I say, give me a break. We're going to fight?
Oh, how excited this is making me. My expectations are ascending skyward at Mach speed.
Oh no.
To be direct, I'd like for you to show me the potential slumbering within you.
Let me make sure of something, just in case. You understand what I'm saying, right? There's no illusions at work?
Alright.
Such parlor tricks can get stuffed.
I see. So you're actually in your right mind here. That's kind of, impressive.
Well, maybe she understands. Maybe she understood what I meant when I mentioned the illusions. If that's so, then she might have at least have some idea what's going on around here. And then, even though she might understand it, she still wants to fight me? I wonder, though, if she's unrelated to the General Teddie's plans and invited herself into the tournament to do the usual rules apply. As I thought about this, Elizabeth-san taps her foot on the ground and takes a fighting posture. She really does want to fight. This huge leather-bound book in her hand opens up as if by itself. A torrent of power pours from the open book with the blue light. I can't believe that strange girl has such unimaginable power. She seems so aloof. No, it may be more correct to call it an era of imminent violence.
Alright. I won't be able to hold back.
To be honest, I was really only saying that in the hopes of bluffing. I had absolutely no room to hold back in this fight. I hurriedly cast off the fear and focused on the upcoming battle. There's no room for doubt. I need to hit her with all my strength from the start. Even if I were to fight her in the intent of killing her, I would be lucky to end up dead myself. At least, that's how I feel. Elizabeth-san calmly begins the battle.
Let us do this. Your fate is in the cards.
Let's go. Alright. Let's go. Ooh, this is gonna be tough. I remember fighting Elizabeth the first time, and it took me a couple tries to beat her. But hopefully I can beat her this time.
Final. Fight!
Impressive.
Easy enough! Easy
You're
enough!
impressive. Thanatos.
What?
You're frozen at persona. Impressive. From this moment forth, I will give you up.
Over here! Damn!
I am very sorry.
No
Well
escape!
done.
Oh, that KO. What a move. That holy shit, that was sweet. Alright. That was a nice play. Jump in the air, just take her down. When I just thought I'd managed to throw her off balance, Elizabeth-san gets back up elegantly, as if nothing had just happened. Suddenly I feel an intensity build up in the air. Don't tell me she had been taking this seriously all up till now. In the next moment I'm swallowed into a torrent of power like a leaf being blown into the air, without the slightest understanding of what's happening. My vision blurs as I'm spun around before I can... Whoa. Mike almost... Yeah. No, don't. Vision blurs, I'm spun around before I can get up on the floor. I can tell up from down. The floor jumps towards me and I'm slammed into the ground. Am I going to lose? As my consciousness fades, I see the faces of my friends and Aigis-san. All those I had fought up until now. Huh. It seems like that story when your life flashes before your eyes just before you die. Am I dying? Can I really accept that? I'll fight as much as I have to in order to save my friends. I have to keep fighting. I've come so far. I can't lose heart now. I desperately forced my legs to move and managed to sit up and stand again. Elizabeth-san shut your book with an air of finality.
I see. I am quite content with this outcome. It seems you possess true strength.
The unyielding torrent of power suddenly ceases without warning. Is it over? Even as I come to understand that I continue to stand stock still.
I believed you were at the limits of your stamina after the battle against Aigis earlier. In actuality, your heart almost gave in during your struggle with me. But each time you faltered, the many hearts supporting you gave you strength, helping you to rise again.
She cuts herself off and nods to herself, as if to confirm some suspicion.
This was truly an intriguing battle. I believe our encounter has borne much flute.
Flute?
Oh my god, she can't even think of the right words.
Flue?
Flute? Chimneys? Chimneys?
In any case, I am quite pleased.
Jeez, where do you get that from, Elizabeth? Even after the battle, she acts like that. I feel like a fool for believing she really would have killed me. Even if it felt quite real at the time. I can't believe any of this. My legs gave out under me. I can't believe any of this. My legs give out under me and I sink to the ground. Maybe she understands how I feel. Elizabeth-san looks straight into my eyes.
May I ask you something? To continue fighting in order to prevent an undesirable future, it is a path of endless hardship. Would you still choose to walk it? Margaret
had said something similar just before this tournament had begun. how I overcome this ordeal concerning last year's case, and I open the door. Margaret's and Elizabeth-san's words come together in my mind.
Yeah. Working for a better tomorrow isn't just a one-time thing. The tomorrows keep coming.
Opening the door is necessary, but not when it's truly important. What's more important is making sure that you follow the path that's beyond the door. Only once you have that path in mind, it doesn't matter. Mine doesn't matter whether you've opened the door or not. That's how I feel.
I would keep fighting for the future we want.
Elizabeth-san smiles at my answer. It seems that the former dweller of the Velvet Room is pleased with my answer. She must have chosen a path of her own at some point, and is doing everything in her power to see it through. Maybe I'm just jumping to conclusions, but I feel as if I'm able to understand her a little better now.
Well then, it's time for me to bid you adieu. By your leave, I, Elizabeth, am out of here.
With this, Elizabeth briskly walks out of the room. She caused me some trouble, but I've also learned something about myself as well. I think I call it a draw. As I wave goodbye to Elizabeth, I hear Aigis-san getting to her feet behind me.
Are you alright? You shouldn't force yourself to move.
I was concerned at first, but Aigis-san doesn't seem to be very hurt, or damaged, or whatever you would say. She was likely to be just knocked out. I had absolutely no chance of winning if I'd gone easy on her either. This is getting ridiculous.
You are very kind. We've only just met, and yet you're worried about a machine like myself.
Huh? Isn't that normal?
Aigis-san laughs at my confusion.
Seeing you smile like that? I don't know. I just can't think of you as a machine.
All right.
You have a heart, right? Then it doesn't matter whether you're man or machine.
Aigis-san stops laughing and thinks deeply for a moment. But after a few seconds, she looks back up at me with a serious look in her eyes.
You have defeated me in single combat. That will make it difficult for me to continue forward. But I believe I can trust you. Will you listen to my mission directive?
I have no reason to say no. I look at Aigis square in the eye and nod reassuringly. And so Aigis-san told me about her directive, and it was truly surprising. There was another case involving personas and shadows outside of Inaba, even before our venture last year. And she is a weapon of the heart, a weapon with a heart, created with the express purpose of wielding a persona to fight shadows. She believes that this current situation came to be because someone had stolen a similar weapon and caused it to enter the TV world.
So, there's another girl robot with a heart like you, and she's the cause of all this?
We came to this world to retrieve her. My older sister, the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris, is in this world somewhere.
Narukami is present in her shadow, and now Labris. I have a mountain of tasks to accomplish now. But even though I have a lot to do, I can't ignore any of it.
Tell me more about Labris, and I'll do what I can to help you get her back.
Unfortunately...
Aigis-san's expression clouds. She said that she was a machine, but that she really is no different from a human. As I'm listening to her, I think about what this means in my search for Labris. It's not helpful.
So you don't know what she looks like, what she can do, or what equipment she's loaded with.
Basically, all she can tell me is that Labris is a robot who's built to look like a girl. Wait a second. Did I meet a girl that I didn't know in the TV world? Miss President? Could Miss President be Labris?
Is there a possibility that she looks, well, more human than you? You mentioned earlier that she was your older sister, so I assume she was built before you, but...
My sister was an older model, a prototype for the 5th generation to be exact. It's doubtful that she would look more human than myself.
Then there's no way Miss President could be Labris. I could tell at first glance that Aigis was a machine. Miss President appears to be completely human. I never once considered that she may not be human until just now. But that makes things even more complicated. What in the world is going on inside this TV?
All right. In any case, I'll keep an eye out for her. But right now, I'm heading to the announcement room. If Labris is the cause of this, then I'm bound to meet up with her eventually.
I shrugged silently. I don't want to be so grave. Aigis-san must sense what I'm trying to do, and smiles.
Thank you. I will trust my sister's fate to you.
Of course. I give Aigis-san a determined nod and run out of the classroom. But man, what a busy Golden Week. I have to make sure Nanako's okay, find Miss President, unmask whoever's masquerading as Teddie, and now search for Labris somewhere in here. If this wasn't happening, I'd be kicking it with my friends at the Junes food court. Yukiko seemed to be trying to be coy, but I'm pretty sure that big bundle she was carrying probably was box lunches that she had made. As to how they might taste, well, let's not get sidetracked. I'm sure we'll all have enjoyed them anyway. Eventually, I would have called Nanako over and we would have bought some snacks together. There were things I wanted to buy from the Shiroku store, and maybe could have made it to the Shozai Daigaku. No, the Shozai Daigaku in time to buy the last of the other special. I wanted to talk with the owner of Daidara, and get some books from the Yomanako store. I'd have a steak bowl at Aya. And hung out with the fox at the Tatsuhime Shrine and waited for my uncle so we could have dinner, and tomorrow I would have gone fishing. If the one who'd ruined my vacation and caused all these problems is the same person who stole Labris, and if they truly brought Nanako back into the TV world, let's go with I'll catch them no matter what. They're not getting away from me. As I run on, I come across another blue door. Perhaps it's a sign that I need to calm down. True, I may have lost my cool for a moment.
Here again?
I reach towards the door with a relaxed smile. We're still going on. Margaret is in her usual position. As I glance around the room to see if there's anyone else in here. It looks like her nutcase of a sister isn't here. Margaret notices me looking and sighs, a seductive sound that also conveys annoyance.
It seems my sister has caused you some trouble. Though this may mean that I'm not the only one who is drawn to the light of your potential.
There's a hint of tenderness towards her sister in her words. Her sister must be important to her. I can tell from the look on her face. Do I look like that when I talk about Nanako? Margaret pulls herself together and speaks again.
You have gained a new resolve by overcoming many doubts and falsehoods.
A new resolve. I find myself nodding along.
You have reached the threshold of truth. But man's hearts are mutable. That is why a resolve to continue fighting is more important than any one victory or defeat.
Yeah, I understand.
But this will be a difficult battle without end. Are you equal to the challenge?
I should be. The way she puts it makes it seem as if she was testing me. I don't respond immediately, but I think immediately and think about the question. It would be lying to say that I'm not worried. I know that my heart can be swayed by the change. There's no knowing what would happen in the moment, from moment to moment. But even
if I
then,
have my friends, if I'm not alone, I can do it.
I see.
Margaret nods slightly in
I
response.
have heard your answer, but it's not enough. Remember what I told you before? The heart is shaken more by a single action than by 1,000 words.
As she smiles, my vision begins to blur. I hear words being repeated. I have reached the threshold of truth. Everything that's happened during the course of this case runs through my mind. The new appearance of the TV world, this tournament pitting us against each other, the student council president, and the fake Teddie. My encouragement with a weapon, my encounter with a weapon with a heart, Aigis-san searching for her sister, Labras. And then the determination that I've gained through these constant battles. What I must accomplish? How do I show what I've decided through my actions? Up our grave. We're gonna place the mark. Alright, this is getting down to the wire, folks. We're getting very, very close to ending the story mode for Persona 4 Arena. And this is going to be Daaro DS, and I'm going to sign out for today. And I'm going to catch you guys next time on Persona 4 Arena. This is episode number 4. If you have missed or want to see any other previous episodes, I have the link for the playlist in the description below. So please check that out and continue watching the series as we climax towards the Persona 4 Ultimax. Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. So I will catch you guys later, and have a good one, and peace. See you guys next time.